Dude, look at this rod.
Woo!
Hey folks, I'm Melhorn. In this video, we're going to find out if frozen gizzard shad will catch catfish. Fish on, hooked up. Not sure what we got here. Head thinking like a blue. So make sure I can get him up above that anchor rope. He's rolling like a blue. You can almost tell what these are by the way they act. Oh yeah, nice start. Hey. 12-pound fish. Good size to catch. There we go. Nice blue cat. Well, folks, if you've been around the catfishing community for any time online, you'll see the question brought up about using frozen bait, especially frozen gizzard shad. And that's what I'm doing on this trip. I had been out fishing a few days before this, had a bunch of gizzard shad, and the problem was it was going to be about 3 days before I could fish again. And I knew that putting those gizzard shad on ice was not going to be good. They'd get way too mushy. So I decided to freeze them. This was not exactly the best way to freeze gizzard shad. I'll tell you that right now. They were frozen in a Ziploc bag with some towels, all the air pushed out of them. But I decided to go out and give them a shot. Dude, look at this rod go. I just noticed he swam all the way up to the front of the boat. I'm not sure what kind of a mess I'm gonna have here. I don't know if he's under the front anchor or not. I just looked up and this line had come all the way back underneath the boat. I don't think he's a monster, so I think I can manhandle him out of here. Let's see. I don't know if he knows he's hooked yet. Boom, there's a blue. Big male, tore up male too, spawner. Guys, this is what a spawned up fish looks like. Amazing damage to this fish from the spawning. Absolutely amazing damage. Look at that. That is a male. Doesn't have as big a mouth as most males, but does have some of the outside markings of one. Look at that. Lots of damage. Fish has lived a rough life this spring. Let's get him back to do some more spawning, big boy. Well, if you have to freeze bait, nothing wrong with doing it. It's always nice to have some on hand. If you're going to do it, the best way is to vacuum seal it using a vacuum sealer. It gets all of the air out of the bag, and this helps reduce freezer burn. A lot of folks will put a paper towel in there, wrap the fish in it. But yeah, get you a vacuum sealer. It's a great investment if you're planning to freeze bait and use it down the road. Let's see who we got going here on this bean-in rod. Boom. Both fish have come off the shallow side of the boat so far. See what happens here. A little better catch right here than we had the last stop. Winching him in nice and slow, little eager blue. Rolling. Listen, I'm happy to be catching fish. What we got here? Selma, get off the fin. There we go. Flip him in. Getting one of the smaller baits. Good looking blue cat. Got a bite mark healed up, looks like. Pretty fish. Now you can freeze them in a Ziploc bag. It's not ideal though, because having air pockets outside of the fish in the bag, it allows the moisture inside the fish to migrate out. this dehydrates the bait. And those ice crystals can actually cause some of the fleshy, meaty part to break down on the outer edges. So ideally, you get all the air out. That helps hold the moisture in the fish and gives you a better bait when you thaw it out. Sitting here getting some commentary from some of my buddies over here riding by over my shoulder right now. And I got a fish going off, little one. What we got here? Nothing big. Woo! It's good to have friends. I was fishing during the spawn, what is typically our spawning time in June. That's typically when our blues and our flatheads are on the nest and doing their spawning. For whatever reason, I was catching fish, and I was catching good numbers of fish and some decent fish. So we can't always predict when the fish are going to bite, what they're going to do. You just have to get out there and fish. And on this particular day, it was working and it was paying off. All right, guys, just made a move from anchoring up to drifting. Different part of the lake, clean water. Went from muddy water to clean water to anchoring the dragon. So I got a little bit of wind, light breeze. Trolling motor to keep us moving. I'm hooked up. Just seeing what's going on. Just trying to cover some water here during this time of the year to see what's happening with the bite. This looks like a channel cat. Big one too. Oh, I lost a good bait in the process. That was a good bait. Your son. The shad head. That's a good one. Male. Yep, jacked up. A lot of coloration. Anal fin, folks, right there. That's how you tell the difference. Well, as you can tell here, folks, the catfish didn't have any problem with eating frozen gizzard shad. It was working fine. It was producing a lot of fish and producing some good fish. So on this particular day, it was working. Obviously, ideally, if you have fresh shad, you're better off. Always use fresh bait when you can, but listen, we don't always have time to get out there and catch bait, find bait. You may have a last minute trip where you're going to get up and you're going to go and you want to throw some bait in the cooler and head on out. So don't let that keep you from going. If all you've got some frozen bait, get out on the water and go fish. Got one going on the slime cat rod. Feels like another small fish. Didn't put a whole lot of bend in it. It's okay, let's nurse it in. Let's get one in the boat, making a big long drift across here. How's my speed going? 0.6. Had the motor on for a minute. I got a little more wind, got a small drift bag out the back. Nursing this little baby in. Happy to catch fish. Nice, comfortable day out here. We got some clouds, light breeze. Oh, big messed up male. Channel cat again. That one is experiencing the spawn. That body. That's maybe a white cat. I'd have to count those anal rays to see. Long body, beat up, bad eye on one side, lots of coloration. Now I will say this, when you're hooking some of the frozen baits, make sure that the pieces you're going through are still good and firm. You know, the head sections are always good. They really don't get that soft. But when you're hooking through some of the body sections, just make sure that it's really firm. If you have to, a lot of times I go through the top part near the dorsal fin, but the bottom section is less likely to get mushy, and sometimes that can be a better place to hook these baits. All right, guys, got one that took this bait and went to the other side of the boat, which is actually a good thing. It looks like he cleared all the lines, which is another good thing. Now we just got to play him back over in this direction. I don't think this fish knows he's hooked yet. It's a better fish. Oh, he might have got that line. May have gotten into that one. We will see. Oh, it's a good blue. It's a good blue. Good fish. Good fish. Stayed out of all the lines. Boom, pop that fish out easy. Let's calm down. Oh. 10, 11 pound fish. Not a bad one. I'll take it though. Happy to get it. Now, me personally, when I freeze baits like this, especially if I'm doing it for a short-term freeze, like in a Ziploc bag, I try not to put a lot of baits in the bag. I don't try to stuff the bag full, so, you know, just packed full of baits. I prefer that they're really only about 1 bait deep. With some of the bigger shad that may be that you're only getting in there 4 or 5 of them. I just think they freeze better, and it's much easier to get air out of the bag when you freeze it. It's a good looking bite. That's a good looking fish. Out here in a big open flat. Let's see what we're into. The shad is producing fish. Trying to pick off some perch out here, but I can't find any. This feels like a good one, not a monster. A decent fish. Enough to turn the boat to one side. It's always a good thing. There you go. Oh, not as big as I thought. That is just a mad channel cat. In the world of Lake Wylie channel catfish. In the world of channel catfish in Lake Wylie, this is about as big as they get anymore. It's a big male spawner on up there. That'd have been a good one back in the day. Pretty channel cat. Colored up. Boom. Now on this trip, I was just fishing santee rigs on the bottom. These santee rigs are keeping the bait up off the bottom a little bit. There was a little bit of current in the area I was fishing, but not that much. Water temperatures were in the mid 70s. And I just had these baits fan cast out around the boat on a shallow flat, and it was working. It was producing fish, and it was a pretty good day to be during the spawn. That's what happens when you leave one unengaged and you put out 12 miles of line. Bad part is, I think there's a fish on it. This is going to take forever to get in. It's like I tell my son, if you're going to be dumb, you got to be tough. Luckily, this is the small Ancient Mariner reel. That's about an equivalent to an Abu Garcia 5000. So it doesn't have a massively large line capacity. But it's a lot of line. Oh, come on, get out of the drift sock, did you? Yes. I'm so glad that's a channel catfish. He just went on a Uber ride. Got my Gatsu Uber ride. Got one milking off a little bit of line here. I don't think he's a beast, but he's nice. But we are right into the river channel. Those lines are probably up on the channel edge. Alright, he thinks he's getting a ride now. He does not know he's hooked. He acts like he's swimming to the boat. Get him here. Boom. Now he's mad. Now he's mad. Oh. He knows he's hooked now. Hey, simmer down. Good fish. Well, folks, if you made it this far, thank you for watching. Here are a couple more videos that I think you're gonna like. I'd watch that one and then that one. No, do that one first and then that one. I don't know, just watch them both. They're both good.